For ladies, you need to be able to know when a guy really loves you. Love is not a feeling. Hi, my name is Niyi Odunsi and this is the Good News Channel TV. This is the Q&A channel. Now on the Q&A channel, we answer the questions that you send to us, questions about just anything that has to do with any of the channels, anything you've heard on any channel that you're not sure of, you want more clarity about, send the questions to us and then I'll get to answer them. Okay then, someone wants to know how to recognize the right partner. How do you know who to marry? Lots of options out there. If you're a lady, you have lots of guys who say they're interested in you, they want to get married to you. And if you're a gentleman, maybe you have lots of girls you want to choose from. How do you know the right one to choose from? Now, I'm going to tell you some things to, of course, look out for. And following, of course, from the last question I answered about at what age should you get married, you understand then that the first thing about knowing who to marry is to know someone who has discovered God's purpose for their life. The first thing on your list about who to marry is that guy, that lady must know God's purpose for their life. I said earlier on that God brought Eve to Adam as a helpmate. Marriage then can be seen as an environment conducive for a man and a woman to fulfill God's purpose for their lives. They're supposed to come together as partners. They're supposed to come together as helpers. And they're helping each other to fulfill God's purpose for their lives. So, if you want to know the right person to marry, the first thing you must consider is not whether that person loves you or not. It's whether that person knows if they have found God's purpose for their lives. Now, flowing from that, of course, we're assuming that you already know God's purpose for your life. If a man knows God's purpose for his life, it's a lot easier for him to discover the lady that's going to be a helpmeet for him. Because remember, the helpmeet or the helpmate is to help him in fulfilling God's purpose for his own life. So, if he knows why she exists, then it's easy to know if they can work together. So, he knows his own purpose, he knows her own purpose, and then he knows that she can be of help, that she's the helpmate, the one that God has chosen for him to help him succeed in his assignment. Now, when it comes to ladies often wonder, am I just to help this guy? What about God's purpose for my own life? That's interesting because what you must realize is this, that in helping the man fulfill his own purpose, you will find fulfillment. Your own purpose is to help him fulfill his own purpose. So, whatever you believe to be God's purpose for your life must indeed be something that is complementary to God's purpose for his own life. Remember, the Bible says, can two walk together except they agree? You can't help someone who has an entirely different purpose. You can't run on parallel lines. When you do that, and you do get married, what you have are two people competing. You're not having two people complementing each other. So it's very important. Know your purpose. Know the purpose of the person you want to get married to. Be sure that you will complement each other and you will help each other. Now, that's the very first thing. Now, the second thing would be this. That person, of course, must be in the family. What do I mean by that? If you're a child of God, you have to marry someone who is also a child of God. The Bible says, don't be unequally yoked with an unbeliever. This is not something to toy with. You have to marry in the family. Because if you don't marry in the family, then you don't have the same belief systems. You don't believe the same thing. And that can be hell in a marriage. Remember, in marriage, two people become one. So when two people who don't have the same belief systems become one, you are not going to have a marriage. You are going to have a home where wars and battles and strife will be the order of the day. So don't joke about that. Don't play with it. Make sure the person you marry is in the same family.